That's a good one, but
Clever.
it's not necessarily that memorable.
One of my favourites, Cobra, with Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Crime is the disease, meet the cure.
That's
Or
a good
he is
one.
the cure.
But you'd never remember that was for Cobra.
Bill and Ted, excellent adventure. History's about to be rewritten by two guys who can't spell.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Wayne's World? What was Wayne's World? Something about they came, they partied, they hurled or something. Or
Yeah.
you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll hurl.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
So we were looking through Time Out, and we were checking all the film posters for taglines, and only 3 of them out of every film that's released in London this week has a tagline. I don't have it on me, stupidly, but the Lady Killers has got kind of a boring tagline,
They
like
kill ladies.
they were the perfect criminals, now they've met their match, or something serious. The only other 2 taglines on films in London are on a film called Since Otar Left, and this is an art film, and the tagline is, "For a mother, a sister and a niece, nothing is the same." Well, what? Someone rearranged their furniture?
That's really
Have they fallen
hippie.
asleep on a bus? Almost anything could happen to it. And then the only other one that's got a tagline is the new Harry Potter film, and that is very similar to the tagline for Since Otar Left. The tagline is, "Everything will change." What, are they going on changing rooms?
Well, no, it's a garage. They can't get sued that way. They're covered.
But the fact is, nothing changes. It's still in flipping Hogwarts. All the silly staircases are still there. Dawn French is in the picture. It's all the same. There's some new screaming hut and a werewolf, but that's about it.
Well, maybe we could ask people to propose better taglines for some of these films, more memorable ones.
Some future taglines from the dreadful-looking Alien vs. Predator, which promises to destroy the integrity of the Alien franchise and the Predator franchise in one fell swoop. The new trailers on the internet covered in thrash metal, which is obviously the thing that was missing from the Alien series and the Predator series. The catchline is, "Whoever wins, we lose." Too right, we lose. We lose the Alien franchise and the Predator franchise.
That's a very cynical tagline. There's got to be some exec rubbing his hands in Hollywood thinking, that applies to the viewers.
The 11 sequel, Ocean's 12.
Yeah.
You listening?
Yes, I
The
am.
tagline to this one is, 12 is the new 11. That's terrible, isn't it? What does that mean?
Well, that means it's the
It just means
sequel.
this is the new film.
Yeah.
This is the sequel.
Now that lies, I see the light.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah. That's the new single from The Hives, the Swedish people with the crazy suits, and it's called Walk, Idiot, Walk. This is Adam and Joe on XFN.
Now, we've had a couple of texts asking when the radio play, when the Adventures of Lench, Poofar and Jenny, our afternoon play, which is called Each Passing Minute, when's that going to be on? Unfortunately, it's not this week.
It's been delayed this week because of our DVD activities. It will be back next week, however.
It's not good radio, is it, to do something alternate weeks? You've got to do it every week to hammer it home. But, you know, listeners, we prize you highly, and we think that, you know, some of you listen regularly, and that those people, you know, will remember the previous weeks. What's it called? I've even forgotten what it's called. Each Passing Minute.
Each Passing
You
Minute.
know what I'm trying to say anyway.
Yeah,
Each
yeah.
Passing Minute is for hardcore Adam and Joe XFM show listeners.
Yes, exactly.
And Fairweather listeners, you'll never know the amazing quality of the play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, why don't you put the play on the XFM website?
Yeah, Brian. Why isn't the play available for download on the website?
Technical reasons.
Like what?
Like he doesn't think it's any good.
He just doesn't understand.
He
He's
doesn't
got a
like it.
limited sense of humour.
We've got Ditties in the Dock coming up very shortly. Joe and I will be battling it out for our free play this week. And I can tell you now that it's going to be a face-off between a couple of dead legends. One very recently dead and one dead last year. Both very sorely missed. And you'll be able to vote for your favourite one fairly soon. So this week I've been watching Band of Brothers again on DVD. Did you ever see that the first time round, Joe?
I saw a couple of them. I saw the one when they got to Hitler's house. Hitler's house, Hitler's house. What was Hitler's house? What's it called? The Eagle's Nest or something. Do you know that one?
Yeah.
It was on top of a mountain. It was where Hitler lived.
I'm still thinking of Hitler's house with little cardboard.
Hitler's house.
That's
It's like Hector's house, only with a Nazi dog.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah. German kids used to love it in the 40s.
And because I bought the DVD of Band of Brothers, the big box set, which comes in a big metal tin like in the war.
As if you're in the war. Do you think
you're in the
if we
war.
went to war, people would carry the Band of Brothers box set?
Yes.
And in between battles, watch it on their portable DVD players?
And if they carried it, if they strapped it to their fronts, it might save them from being shot.
It should come with a little bullet sunk into it.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't be entirely surprised if it did.
It's a bit tasteless, though, isn't it?
But there are some fairly tasteless things about the DVD. Most of all, the series itself, I should say, is an absolute peach.
Yeah.
And really brilliantly done. And wonderfully well acted.
What are the
etc.,
tasteless
etc.
things, then?
The tasteless things are the behind-the-scenes bits, where you've got Tom Hanks rubbing his hands with glee about how fun it is to be doing this whole project. And there isn't the atmosphere of sort of reverential sobriety that you might hope for with such a project, you know, which was supposed to commemorate the D-Day landings and all that sort of stuff. And the efforts of all those people that died in the Second World War. And yet you've got a very sort of silly, zippy, jazzy kind of EPK thing with people talking about how they'd done all the explosions and how it was really fun getting blown around. And then every now and again you get these sort of 25-year-old American actors sort of saying, well, we had to do a lot of preparation for the film. We spent 10 days in a very intense boot camp to make us look like real soldiers. And I didn't even know if I was going to make it through the first night. I was crying. I mean, I was lying in my bed and I was thinking, I'm not going to be able to make it through this. But after 10 days, we came out. And then there was a bond that existed between us, the actors, that really created for us the feeling of what it would have been like for those men fighting in the same. You just think, no, it didn't. There's no way it did. You're insane. And what are you even doing talking about it, you freak? Just act. And shut up about
You're pretending it's real.
10-day boot camp. It's just awful. And it really slightly put me off, but it's so
They do that for a lot of films, though, don't they? It's a very common trope in war films.
Yeah.
I think that Colin Farrell thing, directed by Joel Schumacher, what was that called? Tigerland.
Oh, yeah.
Boot camp for that. Platoon, there was a famous boot camp, wasn't there?
That's right.
Someone is laughing and making a lot of money doing these things for pompous actors.
We should run boot camps for actors. That would be great, man. That would be like, well, it's like, what was it called? Brat camp.
Yeah.
Celebrity boot
Yeah.
camp. I mean, obviously there is a
Day
celebrity
one,
boot
we
camp.
just throw some mud on them. Alright, everybody, this is what it's like being splashed by mud. Alright? Mr. Hanks, close your eyes, because you might get some in your eyes, alright? Wendy, throw the mud. Oh, stop it! No, come on, you're supposed to be in the army. It's got my shirt! My shirt's dirty!
We're going to do explosions now.
Come on, people in the... Yeah, go on.
It's a big gust of wind from a cone, a big wooden cone.
don't like wind.
No, come on, it won't hurt that much. Oh, it blew me across. It made my bum
Right,
go funny.
Wednesday bangs. There are a lot of bangs. There are a lot of bangs in the war. Right, everyone ready? Bang!
I don't like. I've got blood. I've got blood. The blood on my forehead's got all sticky. I want to wipe it off. I don't like the way it smells. Well, there is a real show called Celebrity Boot Camp, of course. Maybe that's what it's like. Something to think about, anyway. I just think they shouldn't talk about it, the actors. Now, we shouldn't talk about what.
Standing there.
Listen,
I can't say a word.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I like about that?
What, Joe? What?
It's like me or someone I know talking to me about stuff that I know. It's
When
like
you
my
bust
life.
up with
It's-
Nancy.
Shut up, Adam. It's like my life.
What? I was just saying.
Adam, I'm crying. I never cry, and I'm crying because what you played is like it.
Because of when Nancy slapped you,
Because of when Nancy slapped me up,
and you had to bust up
and
with
I
her.
had to bust up with her, and it is, I'm mean, I'm from the streets and I'm hard, but sometimes.
Shut up, man! You
shut up!
Go.
You shut up!
You shut up!
Black, black, black! Smell black, 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 black,
You
black! I'm no black.
You sound like a girl, man. The way you go on.
This is Adam and Joe on XFM. It's the last 14 minutes of our show, so it's time for Ditties in the Dock. Adam, what is Ditties in the Dock?
Well, Joe, it's a kind of a crazy way of describing a segment in the show where we battle it out for our one and only free play. We're in the process of negotiating with XFM for a bit more flexibility as far as the music we play. Although we love it, at the moment we're only allowed to play one of our own choosing, so we have to battle it out. And this week I was going to bring in some Ray Charles because Ray unfortunately died this week and he's a great loss to the world. And Brian, I'm not going to tell you what Brian's doing, our producer, but it is pathetic, Brian. Can't believe that you produce our show. Anyway,
To tell the listeners why there's no Ray Charles, because he died recently, all his records are being played on the other stations and they've all been taken out of the library, right?
Taken out of the library.
Yeah.
But just in case for this exact situation, I brought some XTC with me. I never leave the house without my compact XTC. And I want you to vote for a song that you may not know by XTC called Statue of Liberty. It's a kind of new wave punky smash, and it'll just make you smile. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Simple as that. Vote for XTC, Statue of Liberty. It goes like this. Oh, the Statue of Liberty. Woo-hoo! That's all I'm
If you don't want to hear that, then this week I'd like to play some Elliott Smith, and this is the reason why we were having a great late musician standoff. It was going to be Ray Charles, but it is, we have got Elliott Smith. We can play it. Needle in the Hay I want to play. It was included on the soundtrack to the Royal Tenenbaums. Elliott Smith, of course, apparently stabbed himself in the heart.
That's true, a year ago.
Because he was not a very happy fellow. He was about 34. It's a beautiful song, Needle in the Hay. And that's all I have to say, really. I would encourage you, vote Elliott Smith, Needle in the Hay. So you need to call 0871 222 1049, vote either XTC or Elliott Smith for this week's Ditties in the Dock.
We'll take the best of the first 5 calls after this one.
That was the Scissor Sisters with Take Your Mama. This is the gut-wrenching climax to the show, Ditties in the Dock. You know, I've got a theory about Ditties in the Dock, Adam.
What's that?
I think whoever announces their song first usually wins.
No.
I think it's a bit of a pattern.
No.
Well, let's see.
Well, I announced it first this week. Mm-hmm. All right.
Let's keep an eye on this.
Okay,
in
so
case we need to change the structure.
Just to remind you, I was voting for XTC, a classic little-known song of theirs called Statue of Liberty.
And I was proposing Elliott Smith with Needle in the Hay.
Very different kind of songs. Mine's a sort of silly up-tempo foot tapper, and yours is more of an introspective number, isn't it?
Yeah, very true.
So we'll take 5 calls, and the best of those 5 calls will be played. We genuinely don't know who's going to win this. Isn't it exciting? So, who's the first caller?
On the line first is Andrea. Are you there, Andrea?
I'm here.
Thank you for calling. Thank you for listening.
Can I just suggest, first of all, a tagline for your show is that it's the quickest 2 hours in the week.
Oh.
It just flies by.
Oh, thank you, Andrea.
I was going to say Elliott Smith.
Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. I said lovely 3 times, like a sort of insane Welshman.
Thanks very much, Andrea, for the tagline and for your vote. We very much appreciate both.
Tim, are you there?
Hey,
Hi, Tim. How are you?
How you doing, Tim? Yeah, wicked. Yeah. Who are you voting for? XTC or Elliott Smith?
XTC, bye.
Hey. Okay, so it's 1-all.
So it's 1-0. It's like the football.
1-all, not 1-0.
1-all. Okay. Next on the line is Adam. Hello, Adam.
Hello, boys.
How you doing, Adam? You sound like a no-nonsense kind of person to me. Are you voting for Elliott Smith or XTC?
XTC, without a doubt.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
2 for XTC and 1 for Elliott Smith. Who have we got next, Joe?
Matthew.
Hey, Matthew, how you doing?
Now, if Matthew votes for XTC, we're not going to take the 5th call because it's XTC's game.
That's right.
So, what have you got for us, Matthew?
I'm afraid it's going to have to be XTC.
Oh, it's XTC. Thanks a lot for your call. Thank you very much indeed for listening, ladies and gentlemen. I must say, I sympathise, Joe. That's a tough break, man, because it's a great song, Elliott Smith, Needle in the Hay.
Them's the breaks, them's the breaks. I really don't mind, to be honest.
Yeah, well, it's all music, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll listen to it in the car on the way home, and sod you all!
Okay, thanks a lot for listening.
We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. Here's XTC with Statue of Liberty.
Bye!
No, that's the wrong song.
Hey, I got a little bit of Smithy.
A little bit of Smithy. Here, there's a bit more Smithy.
Oh. That's what you missy the Smithy.
You missy the Smithy. Here's the XTC. Well, that's it. That was XTC and Statue of Liberty. Thanks very much indeed for listening to Adam and Joe here on XFM
We're
this
leaving
week.
you in the more than capable hands of Claire Sturgis.
Say hello, Claire. Zoom star, there she is.
Yes, it's me. I'm going to play some Lenny Kravitz and some Evanescence later on for you.
Oh, terrific.
I thought you were going to drop them.
Yeah, no, I am. God, did I mention them? Oh!
You're not supposed to. When you drop stuff like Lenny, you're not supposed to even mention it. We've learned about all this.
Lenny Kravitz is being
sure.
dropped.
Anyway. Thanks a lot for listening.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Nah, take that. That's Butterflies and Hurricanes by Muse. Before that you heard